Anything I will say in this following video is hopeful thinking to the highest degree. I do not believe that all of what I'm gonna say is actually going to happen. I actually believe that most of the things are probably not going to happen. What this video is trying to be is an outlook on the game that maybe leads some people who have no hope of this game being good to think again. I'm just trying to point out that from what we've seen, there's a lot of stuff that's still very open that could turn out to be actually good. Now, on to the video. Hello and welcome back, or welcome in general, to my channel. I'm already sorry about the sound quality, it's not as good as the previous video, but that's because this one is really quickly thrown together because I just wanted to talk about Paper Mario in a way. And yesterday I had the idea of how exactly I'm gonna do that. That's exactly what I'm doing now. I've got my trusty little program GIMP here, where I can just show off with some great red marker to really emphasize what I'm talking about to you. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the devil, but the kind of devil that gives you hope. Because I'm seeing a lot of people who see that game and see the bland characters or see the art style that's obviously drawn from Color Splash directly and already think this game is probably not gonna be up to par to the first few games, which obviously is a hard task. But I'm gonna try to point out some things that may point in the direction of this game actually being great. So, let's see. Now the first thing I want to bring up is, as previously stated, these partner characters don't seem like anything special. All of them are the regular designs. Except Bob Omb isn't quite, because he's missing his fuse. So this Bob Omb isn't just any regular Bob Omb. In this case we can actually tell that this here is our Bob Omb that we see in the other screenshots too, like for example here. This is the same Bob Omb because he's also missing his fuse. Now why do I bring this up? There's a good reason for that, and that is that here we have this Explorer Toad here, right? And this Explorer Toad is a yellow toad with some little extras, you know? Like he could technically be a partner from the older games, right? Like he has some things that a normal toad wouldn't have. But this toad here is nowhere to be seen on this screen. The only toad we have here is a regular toad. So why do we see this Bob Omb that's prominently featured in the trailer on the cover, but we see this regular toad that's just any ordinary toad on the cover that's never in the trailer? There's not a single red toad like this in the trailer. We do see the Koopa, we do see like some Goombas, we do see Bowser Jr., we do see this Bob Omb guy. We never see Toad like that. But we do see the Toad. We do see a Toad, that's the Explorer Toad. So my theory is, now look at this. What if this Toad here actually is our Explorer Toad? My theory is that all of these characters here are customizable somewhere down the road. I know we only see the Bob Omb one in his like usual stance, in his usual appearance. But if it's a customizable character, you could always just choose to not customize them, right? So maybe there are some special features you could give these characters, but you just have to unlock them first. Because why would this Toad be here on the cover together with the other one that we've already seen, if the Toad that follows us in the game is an explorer? Maybe that's just one of his outfits. The next thing I want to look at is the battle system. This is obviously a completely new battle system. We've never had this ring thing before. It's early in the game because we only have Goombers, we have 50 life. All of the previous games have started us with 50 life. Like at least Color Splash and Sticker Star did. And a lot of people have voiced their concern that this might still be pretty dumbed down. You just line them up and then you jump from one to the other and it's done. But I think we have to look a little deeper than this, because this is obviously a very early battle. And we can't just take this as a gold standard of what these battles are going to look like. But before we do that, we have to look at the screenshot of the Japanese trailer here, where we see we have one pair of boots. Wait, let me actually select the picture. Here we have one pair of boots, we have one hammer. There is no like amount of times we can use them, like in the old games, the sticker and color kind of games. And there's still a lot of room here. There's a lot of nothing here. If you've seen the Color Splash and Sticker Star trailers, then you will have noticed that they have shown off from the very start that there are multiple boots, multiple hammers, multiple springs, multiple fire flowers. Like they really wanted to show off that there is a vast selection of cards that you use. But also that there are multiple of each type, because you actually consume them when you use them. I don't think you consume those. Also the room down here that's empty, I think that's just extra space to equip more attacks with. And here's where the second hopeful thought comes from. These spaces, if we take those two, these spaces have place for 3 more attacks. Like a 6th one wouldn't fit in there, but basically, let's just pretend this isn't here. Basically, we have enough room for 5 attacks. What if there is some kind of badge system back? And you can equip multiple attacks like in the old games. Like where we had a Quake Hammer, a Power Jump, a Multi-Jump, all these things. But instead of being able to equip as many as you want, as long as you have enough badge points, maybe this time it's more about choice. About you can equip whatever you want, but you can only equip 5 at a time. This time it also wouldn't be as bad if there were no badge points, because obviously we don't see anything like that here. There's no flower points, no badge points. I mean, the badge points weren't shown in the old games on this menu either. But let's just assume we do not have badge points. If we still have this selective amount of things to use where we can choose what we actually want to take with us into the battle, then this could still be a really strategic kind of gameplay loop. When you get a new item, you have to think, well, this new item is basically just a better jump, so might not equip the jump anymore, right? Or this item basically does a similar thing like the jump, but a bit different, and the area I'm in right now might call for this item rather than a jump, then I might completely lose the jump, right? If that's even possible. Maybe those two like stick to it. But I think you see where I'm going there. This menu here seems to be rather empty right now, as it looks here. Whoops, as it looks here. But there's obviously more coming. And what if this more that's coming is customizable? Just saying. Just trying to give you some hope here. Now, I mentioned before that we can't fully say how good or bad this battle system is gonna be just looking at these kind of characters here, because this is way too early in the game. Now, something to think about is, with this grid-based system here, you would assume that there's like one grid per character, as is here, right? But I'll just say this. We have boss characters in this game. And if you look at this turtle, for example, which is pretty sure gonna be a boss character. Let's just imagine this turtle is here on this battlefield. Like, let's see. Let's actually make it to scale. So Mario is approximately as big as he is on here. This turtle would be a bit too big for that. It doesn't even remotely fit on these little tiles here. So what I think is one of two things. Either the turtle is gonna have 1 foot down on a specific point, so that when you actually turn the thing, this turtle is gonna rotate with it. It's gonna go around you while you turn it. That maybe that is incorporated in the battle. The place where it's positioned, that you can only turn the entire turtle at once, if you even can turn it. But then, this thing is still extremely clunky and big. So maybe, just maybe, there's way more to this system. Maybe there are different battlefields. We've only ever seen this one ring. But what if there are different variations of that one ring? What if there's, for example, something like this? What if there's a huge version of that where the turtle can actually fit on it? And maybe that huge version comes with its own things that maybe Mario can't even bounce from one to the other because it's too big. Another thing to think about, a second boss that we've actually seen already, is this blooper. This blooper could never fit on this tiny arena thing. Like, if you remember, in the old games, most of the bosses were way bigger than Mario. For example, Hooktail couldn't even fit in the theater because half of his body, or like most of his body, was outside of it. What if Blooper acts the exact same way? What if Blooper has his little individual bloops? Hands? Fangs? I don't know how you call those in English. Tentacles! Tentacles. What if Blooper has his little tentacles here on the board? Like, let's just pretend this is the board here. Blooper might have one of each here on these little tiles. And you have to jump on those to damage the big guy, or maybe to make the big guy fall on the actual arena and then hit him here. So they could get extremely creative with that. Let's just assume that these tentacles are like, wait, these tentacles are something like this. Like, these are the blooper tentacles with a lot of imagination. So maybe while Blooper's tentacles are here, maybe you just can't turn. Maybe this entire ring is not turnable while Blooper is holding it. Or this entire ring is not turnable while Blooper is holding it. This would give this entire thing a completely new strategy, that you have to kill off the tentacles first to be able to turn these things the right way if you need them. All I'm trying to say here is, this system makes for a lot of good, potentially strong fights, with a lot of tactic involved, if they pull it off right. And they've done it before, so I wouldn't see why they wouldn't be able to do that. There is one more thing in the battles that we have to talk about, and that's connected to the HP here. Let me make this red again. It's connected to the HP here, and that's the fact that at the start we have 50 HP, and later we see still 50, 70, 110, 120, 120 again, 150. So in this area here, we have 150 HP, right? That's 100 more than in the first image. If we assume that there is no level up system, and that would mean that in every area that we complete, we would get more than 10 HP. Because this would have been the 11th area already, if we really get 10 HP as a reward for beating a boss or something. So I am leaning towards the idea that there actually is a level up system, and then we get more HP every time we do level up. Probably in this case 10 HP per level up. Now at first I thought, what's this little 1-up symbol here? Maybe this is giving us extra HP. Maybe we aren't actually at 150, maybe it's just 100 and we've got a little item that bounces it up by 50. Because it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's even here. In every single screenshot we have this little 1-up symbol right next to the HP bar. Now, my theory with bouncing it up by 50 would already not work, because we have 70 here, and we start with 50. Then I thought maybe that's just something that's always there, for one reason or another. But that's also not the case, because we see in the first screenshots that in this battle he has 50 HP and he has the shroom. But in the tutorial battle that we've seen before, it was 50 HP without the shroom. So this shroom has to do something else. Maybe it is a 1-up, a actual 1-up that lets you survive one deadly attack. But if that were the case, then why do we have it in every single screenshot here? Maybe it's just random. Maybe it's really just an item that lets you survive damage. But what I'm getting at, it's definitely not a boost to your stats. Those 150, you somehow got those. They're not boosted by that thing. So I think there is a level up system. Even if it's only boosting the HP, that'd already be something to strive for, something to actually, why you actually would want to battle. Because boss battles you have to do one way or another. And assuming that these battles give more than just coins, and if you can't do more, or even if you can't do more with coins this time around, even though that's something I am not quite sure about, because if you can look here, he's got like 1,300 coins here. There's a screenshot somewhere else. Probably can't find it now. Yeah, I can't find it now. There was a screenshot where he had 10,000 coins. So coins probably still aren't that important. I would hope they were, but this is not something I can be hopeful about if I see these numbers here. Because in the old games the numbers like never really exceeded 1,000. I think they actually couldn't exceed 1,000. But I think there is a level up system here, solely based on how the HP progresses over time. Here I've got the one last thing that could point towards this game actually being more than it seemed from the first trailer. And that's this screenshot from the cinematic start of the game, where we see the entirety of Toad Town. And here we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, possibly 11 buildings. That's already way more than in any of the Sticker Star and Color Splash Paper Mario games. Because even though those also had Toad Town, more or less, or at least a central hub town, that central hub town had 3 important buildings at most. this having 11 buildings, even if half of them, even if 2/3 of them aren't interesting or don't have anything special in them, there's still a good amount of shops here. Go away. There's still a good amount of shops here that could be interesting, that could have something special. The ones that grab my attention the most are this house here with the 2 hammer symbols, and this here that looks like a museum, and this workshop kinda looking house that I somehow managed to fuck up because I screenshotted right when this thing flew by. But yeah, these 3 ones are most definitely important in one way or another. If you recount in Sticker Star and Color Splash, the only really important shop, or the only really important building in the main hub was the item shop. Apart from the item shop, there was not much to be seen in those towns and those games. So having so many houses with potential stuff in here in this game really leads me to believe that there might be more to it here. But yeah, that's about all I've got for now. What do you think? Am I just leaning out the window way too far? I mean, that was kind of the point of this video. I didn't want to just look out of the window. I didn't want to make some cautious assumptions. I wanted to make some wild assumptions here. So, if you go into that video with this kind of mindset, do you think that any of this could be true? Do you think all of what I said is completely out there and I'm just being way too hopeful, which might totally be the case? But overall, thanks for watching the video, thanks for listening to me babble for so long if you're still here. Thanks for at least skipping through the video, I guess, if you skip to the end. And I see you latest whenever the next Paper Mario info comes out. I'm sure to be way too hopeful once again. Thanks for watching and bye!